Creating works orders from sales orders, comparing Sage 200 manufacturing against Sicon works order processing. So we're going to go and enter a new sales order, select a customer and go and add our items to the order. Enter a quantity. So Sage manufacturing, it's automatically ticked here. Depending on your settings, we can see create works order and whether that's going to be linked, so whether there's a hard link between the works order and the sales order. I'm just going to untick these two boxes and show you the actions of works order processing. So let's just go and click on save, close out of here, and let's click on save. We're going to go and save the order. There's our order number. So Sicon Manufacturing knows that it's a built item, and within my settings I've got the sales order workflow to pop up and ask me whether I want to create a works order, whether I want to create a single works order for the entire sales order, or whether I want to create separate works orders per line. So I've selected separate orders per line, and you can see the quantity to manufacture. I can either close and don't ask me again, so every time I come into this order it's not going to keep asking me do I want to create that works order. I can close and then next time I come into this works order it will again ask me, or I can click on create works order. If I closed and don't ask again, then that could get picked up by MRP. Let's just go and create works orders. So this is going to go through and create me the works order. A nice thing about the Sicon module over the Sage module would be it's not going to ask me do I want to create those sub-assembly works orders. Depending on my settings it could ask me do I want to create them, but I've got the system to first of all check if there's any stock levels of those sub-assemblies. If there is stock, then just allocate that stock to my works order. If there isn't enough stock, just create the works orders for me. So that's what it's doing at the moment. So it's created my works orders. I can close out of here. So let's go into the works order list. So Sicon works order processing, works order list. I'm just going to refresh this. There I can see my sales order was 369. It's created me works order 17. You can see there's a pre-allocated link there. So when I book in works order 17 of this finished item, it's automatically allocated to that order. We can see there is 17/1, so there's a nice link there to say this is my first sub-assembly of this works order, and we can see there /2, so that's my second sub-assembly to this works order. I can see it's part allocated, so if I just double click and go into the works order, because it's part allocated I can tell there that there are some sub-assemblies that it's been able to allocate out of free stock. So there D6000, I can see 2 have been allocated out of free stock based on my settings. We don't have to have the sales order automation on, it's a setting. There's that many settings within Sicon, it's very flexible. I'm going to go and have a look at the pre-allocations. So pre-allocations is the links between the sales order and the sub-assemblies also. So here I can see my finished item. Once it's booked in, it'll be allocated against that sales order. We can get the system to automatically prompt to ask us whether we definitely want it to go to that sales order, so that's not a hard link, and we can see the pre-allocations there. If I at some point decided that I don't want this order going to that sales order, at any time we can remove that pre-allocation. So it's a lot more flexible than Sage manufacturing. Here I can just go and delete that link. So now that is no longer linked to sales order. So when I book in this works order, it's just going to be booked into free stock rather than booked against that sales order. I could also delete the links there. I can also create links. So I'm going to go and create the pre-allocation. We can see it's going to pre-allocate to a sales order line. If I use the drop down, it's going to show me any sales orders that are waiting for that stock. So I can see a sales order there, 349, want a quantity of 30. I'm just going to go and allocate or pre-allocate the 2 from this order to that sales order. It might be a customer that needs 2 urgently. Let's select save. We'd like to change the works order number to match the sales order number. No, I want to keep my works order numbering. So the pre-allocation is created. So now that's going to be booked in against sales order 349 rather than the previous 369. If I just come out of here and refresh, you can see now the link has amended or has been updated on our sales order list as well.